Hello everyone, welcome to unit number 9. In unit number 9, let me give me a minute. Yeah, I wanted to see myself there. Unit number 9, we're going to be talking about e-CRM. So what is e-CRM? So pretty much is how we track the consumer, what they are doing, how often they purchase, how they behave, who they are. And nowadays we can track all of this through the technology that we have available through the websites. A previous time it was more difficult because when you had a consumer, let's say for example, we there were things that we were able to measure. They come to store and they want to purchase, I don't know, versus let's say a jacket. Fantastic. So we were able to know whether they purchased a jacket or how many jackets of this color we sold, which locations were the best selling, and so on. So we have plenty of statistics before, but nowadays in the online environment, in the e-commerce environment, we have way much more information. Because in previous time when they go to the store, we don't know where they walked, right? What was the path they were following? How many of them went into the store but didn't buy anything? How long they spent in the store? But nowadays, we have all that information. The moment that that you click, it's already actually not even click. The moment that you research on Google, let's say jeans, jackets, blue color jackets, probably if the web crawler throw our website or our company there, that already generates information. And that's something that in the previous time we didn't even have it. You could be walking on the street, and if you look at the store, that one, you couldn't get that information. But now we have it. We understand who's looking for us, when they're looking for us, how much they spend on the website, whether they converted that. So that's what we call the e-CRM, right? So here, for example, now one of the biggest challenges is bringing consumers online. So in this case, for example, here we have a very good video of how McDonald's started to do that translation, right? To translate from offline methods to online methods to categorize more information. It's a very interesting video. Please watch it. So again, like I said, we use digital communication technologies to maximize sales to existing customers. So we measure them through the e-CRM method. So in this case, we have e-CRM. So in this case, we have social CRM, which we want to understand what customers are talking about, what they are interested into, and that mostly is done through social media, right? In social media, we understand what is the sentiment, what is our brand attracting, what kind of people our brand is attracting, what kind of conversation they are talking, right? I'm talking about, for example, here I have the Nike shoes, no? So they could be talking about the new design, they could be talking about the new colors. It could be a bad move. I remember last time when there was the Starbucks, the unicorn cafe, there was a lot of conversation, but it was not positive, it was negative. However, it ends up being a product that drew a lot of marketing attention, and we're going to talk about that a little bit later. So in this case, we are looking mostly into filling the consumer needs. But now we have more information that we can collect in order to understand what they really want, right? I mean, in this case, some of the benefits of this one, like I said, we targeting more cost effectively because previously, let's say we put an advertising on the street. Whoever passes there will get the benefit of getting in contact with our brand. But out of the investment that I did, probably maybe less than 1/3 of them would pay attention to it. So I don't have a specific target, right? And this is something that e-CRM is doing. By developing cookies, I keep information of who wants to know about me and target them, right? And then throwing them to social media through so many platforms, throwing them information about my brand or my product, and so I bombard them with information about me. So try to convince them and try to get in contact. And I know they're interested into that. Of course, happens that of course technology at this point of time also could be annoying because I don't know. I'll give you one example. I was interested in buying a new bicycle, and then now now all my algorithms of my Facebook, my Instagram, whatever you call it, it's all related to bicycles, right? So that creates a bit of a problem. But I mean, if I were to be a completely aficionado of bicycles, it would be fantastic because I really could get more and more and more information. But nowadays, I'm not looking anymore for it, and then it's a big issue for me. So anyway, like I said, we have increasing the depth and the nature of the relationship. We make it stronger because we know them well. In this case, we have to think of a friendship, right? Well, a friendship where, of course, a company wants to get something out of you. But of course, the deeper the relationship it is, the more I'll get from you, right? So we're looking into that and, of course, minimizing our cost because many of these strategies are very cost effective. When we launch, for example, a marketing strategy in social media, the cost is very minimal, but the return can be very big. Now, with this, I'm not saying that it's free. It is not, because we also have to have a whole social media strategy. And sometimes you need a market agency to develop it and manage it. So it's not free. And also we need to tickle the consumer very constantly, and that is something that takes time and effort, and that represents money. So that means lower cost, not no cost at all. Okay, very good. So in this case, what we are looking for is a customer engagement strategy. We want to repeated interactions, strengthen the emotional, psychological or physical investment a customer has in a brand. Here I have the best example, which is the Supreme brand. And you see this boy. It's easier to buy a gun than buy Supreme. Why? They have built a customer engagement strategy where Supreme brand hooks their consumers, right? For those who are really interested, because we have two type of consumers in Supreme: those ones that are just buying to resell, and those guys who really want to own special products of Supreme. For those who really are advocates of the brand, right? Of course, they are so hooked into it, they discuss about it, then emotional and psychological, they love it, they are obsessed with it, and then of course physical investment in a brand means they go and spend hours queuing or clicking to get some of their products. So in this case, when we are looking for that communication, we are going to establish our channels of communication. So in this case, they're gonna let me communicate with them or not. So here, for example, we have the permission marketing, which is the opt-in or the opt-out. So here, for example, subscribe to the newsletter of the or brand. That means an opt-in. Means you want me to contact you constantly. You want me to do it on a certain basis whenever I have new products, whenever I launch a promotion. I don't know. It depends. It depends on that. And then the opt-out, which is I don't want. It's already too much, or definitely it's just a one-time buy, so I don't want to know. The companies are doing this to read you, to measure you, to feel the sentiment of what you want, right? Very good. So with this, in this case, what we're doing online is a customer profile, and here I'm using a very good stereotype, right, of Harley Davidson. So we understand how the market is and who is the one consuming that brand. No, so see here we have the Harley Davidson, very very stereotyped driver of a motorcycle, but precisely that is what we do online. We try to understand who they are, what their traits, what they do, how they look, what age they are, where they live, etc., but based on online information. And that leads us to try to do the conversion marketing. So when I know who are my consumers, I pass to the conversion. That means purchase the product, click to buy. I don't want you just to go through Coupang and then look for all the content. I want you to click and I want you to buy. And that's important because we are going to measure how many times we did the conversion. How easy I made it for you so that you purchase it, right? If I make it easy in terms of like one click and buy, then the conversion is going to be more efficient as compared to, for example, people that go in and I have to put in my credit card, it's denied, then I have to contact. If it goes through the whole process where it's so difficult to purchase it, the conversion is likely not gonna happen. So that is important. So in this case, like I said, when we're thinking of the conversion, we have to think of again again, the same thing as I mentioned before. Who is coming to the shop? How are they browsing? What they are looking for? How long they spent on store? When they left and with what they left. So the same thing for the website. How they access the website, how long they were there, what did they click, what did they see, what did they maybe put in the basket but they didn't purchase. All of this generates a lot of information, and of course, the more we know, the better we will craft the design of the website so that the conversion happens more often. So in this case, precisely, we talk about the reach, engage, reach, act, convert. So in this case, how am I gonna reach to them? So when I have a good SEO, search engine optimization, which means if I type hamburger and I'm the first one to appear on the list of hamburger shops, that means I'm reaching them well. Okay. Second thing is act, which is if I sell hamburgers, I was the first on the list, they access my website, and in this case, access my website. That's already the acting. Then I want to see how long they spend there. Then the conversion, whether they purchase any hamburger or they were just looking at my menu, right? Let's say here we want the conversion. We want them to purchase a hamburger. And then we're talking about the engaging. So that means that I want them to repeat this. So if you create a membership for my hamburger shop, I'll give you a discount next time. And that means I can read, the more information I can read about you, where you live, where you are, that's a membership. It's extracting information, right? So in this case, so that I can reach you better for the next time. So if you opt in for my marketing strategy, that means that I can send you promotions for hamburgers, and then I reach you again, and then we go through the whole cycle one more time. So the online buying process is pretty much the stages from being unaware, I've never heard of it, to purchase and post evaluation. So we have communication objectives. So in this case, what I want to do here, for example, there's different strategies, and let me pass myself to this slide. So in this case, for example, we have a social recommendations, through Facebook. Then I'm not aiming for the purchase. I'm aiming for you to know about me. There's, for example, a car. You're not gonna buy a car online, but with the advertising, I create this awareness, right? So in this case, we look at that, and then as again, the steps are moving forward into that. So again, I will look for options. You already did this assignment. You already went for the process of purchasing a car, and actually, you remember you went through all this process, right? So pretty much here is where we discovered if it's a well-designed experience, then consumers more likely will purchase the product or not. Okay, so here we go again to the trust of the consumers. In this case, we understand, again, let me put myself here. So in here we have, for example, first of all, is the consumer trusting us? In the beginning, it's not there. So we have to bring that strength. We have to engage them. We have to make sure that they trust us, that we deliver a good product, so that they become advocates of us. Who is an advocate? This fellow. The one that is saying, I like this brand, I really consume this brand, I'm into it, and then I'm gonna make sure that everybody knows about this fantastic brand. Okay, so funny fact is that the strategy of Supreme is very bad, actually. I mean, it's so good that it's bad. It's a good strategy where consumers, they don't know if they can get their products, and that is what really generates a hype. The scarcity of products makes consumer crave for it. But if you think of another brand, you say, like, Adidas, for example, and say I went to buy a shirt and they only had two, you complain about it. So, but for Supreme, it's the other way around. They only have two, so we must buy those two. You realize how to change the mindset of the consumer with the strategy? It's very interesting, I find. And so, in this case, like I said, we need to understand how we're going to acquire those customers, how we're going to reach them and then keep them, and then, of course, migrate them to use online. Okay, this is what many companies are doing nowadays. This is how, like we saw in the video. Well, we just saw the video of McDonald's right now. It's how I change you from being offline to online. I need you to go online because I can know much more information. In this case, for example, when you see this sign, when we see, for example, these download our free app, they want you to migrate to online so they can have more information about you. And that means they know your location, they know how often you order, if you, so much information. So all these applications are just aiming to extract more information out of you and make you go online. It's simple as that, to strengthen their e-CRM. So what are the characteristics of this marketing communications? First of all, we need to understand that it's not static anymore. And here, for example, I have an example of how you change from TV to computer. Nowadays, TV is almost gone. Why? Because internet it's a two-way communication. So you look for the information that you want, you read the information that you want, you communicate with other consumers, and it's a very interactive process of really understanding the brand, the product, the features, etc. Where can I buy it? How much it costs? Last time you saw in advertising on the TV, new Whopper. How much it costs? I don't know. Is it good? I don't know. Where can I buy it? No. Is it available? I don't know. But nowadays it's different. You go and see an advertising of Whopper in a YouTube video. You click it, you search information, you go to the blogs, and you see how's the flavor of the new hamburger, and before you purchase it, you have so much information to whether purchase it or not. Okay, so based on that, again, we have to understand the effectiveness of this. We have to understand how many visitors are coming, how many are clicking and buying, how much it costs me for me to put an advertising on Facebook so that they can click. Again, the return on investment on that strategy, because in the end, advertising through Facebook is not free. And then, of course, going to the lifetime value based. So how long they are staying with me. If they download my application, how often they use it, for example. So again, this goes to the social media and social CRM strategy. We're trying to connect with consumers, know more about them, and establish a conversation with them. For that matter, like I said, we have strategies. So we have to do, for example, the SEO, that if I put burger, then I'm gonna be the first one on the list. They're gonna click. There's gonna be PR. There's gonna be events, lucky draws, interactive advertising. There was one brand, Activia was it, the yogurts, which they ask you to put the benefits of Activia, and then you can win a prize to go to Bali based on the likes that you have. And so it was pretty much extending the brand through the users and the awareness of the brand. You're not gonna buy yogurts online, but the awareness of the brand is what was important for them, and they did very well. So again, in this case, we want repeated customers and repeated visits. We want same customer coming, right? And then, of course, we want them to come very often. So we have the lifetime value modeling, which is pretty much engaging with narrowing the consumer. That's the proper word. So in this case, how much I'm investing on them to stay for life, in terms of my marketing, in terms of my product placement, etc. So offers, opt-in email, how much I'm investing to get married with them. This is what we think of a girlfriend. How much gifts I'm giving her so that she marries me. It's exactly the same way. So how much they are how much we're spending so that they stay with us for a lifetime and they love us for a lifetime, right? And this is, I mean, this is a very traditional thing of service quality in e-commerce, which is the tiers, no? Call it the tangible, reliability, responsiveness, assurance, and empathy, which is pretty much a framework that I think is Parasuraman, if I'm not wrong, which is just brings us to understand that if we have a good website, if they can trust us, if they can see, if they can touch the product, if we can offer refunds, then of course the experience is gonna be good. I can feel it, I can touch it, I can taste it, I can try it, I can refund it. If those elements are in there, most likely the relationship is gonna be effective. So again, in this case, we're looking always for a customer extension. They deepening the relationship. So this is, for example, here I have the case of Coupang. Coupang is a delivery service, but in the end now they are delivering their own products. They are making their own products because they want you to spend more on them. They have that ability to financial ability to create more products. So why not extend a little bit the customer reach and share the wallet? Means they share their money with us. And that's a critical thing that we want. So here let's look at the RFM analysis, which is pretty much they visit our websites, we will measure how many days they are without visiting us, the number of times they do it, the how much money they spend in our website, the average times between visits, and then of course the hurdle rate, which is the conversion, how many times they purchase, right? So we have to look into this one to do an analysis of we will categorize our consumers and put them into different areas. No, this is more like a VIP. So this kind of VIP consumers, we need to give them more offers, more discounts. We need to call them, we need to attract them, we need to retain them. We have consumers that are not interested in all, so how we bring them in. So in this case, like I said, that could be a propensity modeling, which is evaluate customers' behavior and categorize them. And of course, all of this one, we can do it by statistics based on the numbers that we have, or we decide to do specific divisions between our consumers based on their profiles. And so that's it for this week. Thank you so much. If you have any questions, please let me know.